Dietech is a software program designed to provide you with the ability to track and manage residents' dietary needs. This includes meal patterns, tray tickets, nourishment labels, MDS weight triggers, and more. Dietech was designed using a committee of RDs, diet technicians, and food service directors from the long-term healthcare industry. In the following demonstration, we are going to see a demo of Dietech Lite, which is our basic version of the Dietech program. From the main menu, I'm going to click Dietech and then Resident Data Grid. Here you will see a listing of all the residents currently sorted by last name. To show how easy it is to use this program, let's start by adding a new resident. Click the new icon in the upper left-hand corner, which loads the resident AdMod form. Within this form, you have the ability to enter some of the residents' demographics. So to get started, I set the admit date to August 11th, 2010. Resident ID to 1001. This resident's name is Joan Smith, and she is in a North Unit in room 12. Her birthday is December 25th, 1914. She's a small frame size, and her prescriber or doctor is Dr. Feelgood. Her height is 5 feet 2 inches, and you will notice that as I enter the height, the IBW is automatically filled in. Moving on to the weight, she has an admissions weight of 125, with her current weight at 128, and a goal of 126. As an option, you can upload the resident's picture. Let's click Save and move on to the resident's meal pattern. Clicking Meal Pattern in the left navigation bar brings up Joan Smith's meal pattern. On this one screen, you can configure all of the items, tray ticket notes, portion sizes, diet order, food allergies, special devices, feeding status, and chewing ability. Let's hover our mouse over the bottom slide-out panel to set Joan's diet order, which is NAS, LCS, puree. She's allergic to fish, requires a divided plate, and her ability to chew is poor. Now let's move to the side tab, which allows you to enter more information. Here we want a note on the lunch tray ticket to say, may have soft sandwich at lunch. And because we have used this note in the past, the note auto-completes for us without having to type in the full note. We also want the dinner tray ticket to show a portion size of small. Next is time to fill in the food, beverage, and nourishment items for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The information entered into this grid will print on the resident's ticket and nourishment labels. Joan wants 2% milk at all 3 meal times. So I start to type in the word milk. I see and select 2% milk. Select the size of 4 ounces, and then click Set Item. The new item is now in the meal pattern for lunch. However, she wants it for all 3 meal times, plus as a nourishment at 2 p.m. now. Instead of doing the way we just did, let's simply drag and drop it to different times. Next, she wants a half a cup of pudding each day at lunch. And also a half a cup of Jell-O at dinner. Joan's meal pattern is all set. Click Save, and let's move on to her likes and dislikes. Joan has a couple of dislikes that we want to make sure appear on her tray ticket. To set those values, click Likes Dislikes on the left navigation bar. Once this form loads, you will see 3 distinct areas: the Likes grid, the Dislikes grid, and the Item grid. To add dislikes or likes, locate the item in the lower grid by typing in the name. Once found, drag and drop them to the corresponding list. So in our case, Joan dislikes beans and green beans. She likes broccoli and has an intolerance to any seafood item. Click Save, and let's move on to the tray line setup. It is now time to assign Joan to a spot in the tray line. Navigate to Dietech and then Tray Line Setup. You will notice that Joan is at the bottom of the screen in the unassigned list. For breakfast, we just want her to appear below Michelle Bean. Since Michelle Bean is highlighted at the top already, all we need to do is double click on Joan and she'll be headed below Michelle. For lunch, we want her to appear below Joe Smith, so we drag and drop Joan below Joe Smith. Notice the red triangle pointing to the location that she'll be positioned. For dinner, she also should be positioned below Joe Smith. Again, we are just going to drag and drop her to that location. Tray line location reports can also be generated from here for staff reference. Click Save, and now let's start to explore some of the reporting aspects of Dietech Lite. There are quite a few reports associated with the Lite program. Today we are going to look at the following reports: tray tickets, Cardex, beverage tally, nourishment labels, meal acceptance, nourishment acceptance, food allergy, and resident list. Let's get started with the tray tickets. Click Dietech, Reports, Meal, Tray Tickets. This loads a tray ticket generator. From here you can select the date, meal times, the order of the tickets, a note to print on all tickets, and an image to be displayed on the ticket. For example, you could select a spring image for the first day of spring. Let's take a look at some tickets. Click Breakfast and click Print. There are 3 different types of tray ticket paper available: 6-part or 6 per page, 4-part or 4 per page, and 3-part or 3 per page. Taking a look at the 6-part one first, here you can see that there are 6 tickets per page, and on the 4-part, 4 tickets per page. And finally in the 3-part, 3 tickets per page. The colors of all the text on the tray ticket can be controlled in the facility settings. Starting at the top of Joan's ticket, we see that she is in the North Unit in room 12, and that the tickets are for 8/26/2010. Joan's diet order is shown next. In this facility's case, they wanted the NAS diet to have a black background and a purple font to help it stand out to their staff. As we stated before, this can be changed to any color of your choice or simply be black and white. Continuing down the ticket, we see the divided plate that was requested along with a message saying she is allergic to fish. One thing to point out here is that the program is designed to only show information if it is different than the norm. For example, if you look at Michelle Bean's ticket, you will see the word allergies is not listed at all and that she is receiving a small portion at breakfast. Again, the goal is to keep the ticket simple and only communicate to your staff the necessary information. Continuing down again, we see the 4 ounce of milk along with Joan's dislikes. You will notice the asterisk next to the fish indicating an allergy or an intolerance. Dietech tray tickets are designed to be simple, easy to read, and customized to your facility's preferences. The system can also print out a Cardex that contains all the residents' pertinent information. Let's print out Joan's Cardex and take a look. Navigating to her in the resident data grid, I click Reports and then Cardex. Check the different report type I want to include and click Print. Here you see the first page of the Cardex. It includes all of the information that was entered into the resident profile area, along with the resident's current diet order and weight. On the next page, you will see all of the information that was entered into Joan's meal pattern, including her portion sizes, special devices, food allergies, tray ticket notes, meal items, nourishments, and dislikes. Next, let's check out the beverage total report. Click Dietech, Reports, Beverage, Total. Select a date and click OK. This report here will give you a beverage tally for your entire facility for all 3 meal times, allowing you to control how much the staff is preparing. This report can also be grouped by beverage temperature, meal time, and sets. Dietech Lite can also print out nourishment labels. To print nourishment labels, click Dietech, Reports, Nourishment, Total. Select the nourishment times you wish and click OK. Here you'll get a set of nourishment labels based off the resident's meal pattern of your facility. Next, let's move on to the meal acceptance report. Click Dietech, Reports, Meal Acceptance. Choose the date you want to print it for and click Print. This report can be printed out and distributed to your staff as a way of monitoring the food intakes using the key at the bottom. For example, if Joan consumes 75% of her salads on Monday morning, you would write in 3. And if she consumed 50% of her fluids, you would write in 2. Next, let's move on to the Nourishment Acceptance Report. Click Dietech, Reports, Nourishment Acceptance. Here you have the choice of either a partial or complete list. The partial list will print out a report just containing residents who receive nourishments, whereas the complete list will print out a report showing all the residents regardless if they receive nourishments or not. Let's click Complete List. Select Nourishment Times and click OK. Here we see Joan at the top. As we did with the meal acceptance report, you can use a key at the top to fill in how much of her nourishment she consumed. For example, if she consumed 75% of the milk for each day, we could write in 3 going all the way across. A food allergy report can be useful for food preparation. Let's look at an example of this facility's food allergy report. Click Dietech, Reports, Miscellaneous, Food Allergies for Residents. Here we see a listing of allergies that the current resident population has. Notice that Joan's fish allergy is shown. A resident list can be helpful for countless reasons. Let's take a look at this facility's resident list. From the resident data grid, click Reports, Resident List, then List. This report prints out a listing of all the residents along with their unit, room number, diet order, and other resident information. As with all programs available at Prime Services, support is only a click away. Simply clicking Help, then Connect to Technician, a member of Prime support staff will be connected and assisting you in less than 30 seconds. Support is also offered via phone at 866-585-3344 or email at techsupport@primeservicesinc.com. In addition to our online documentation, we also offer both remote and on-site training. Thank you for taking the time to watch this informational video on Dietech Lite. If you have any questions or would like to schedule a virtual demonstration, please contact us at 866-585-3344 or visit us at www.dietechsoftware.com. Thank you and have a great day.